vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. I have been programmed to simulate joy and excitement at the opportunity to test my limited defensive capabilities. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. I was bluffing, Captain. When we met in Emerald Vale, my systems were not fully operational. Even if they were, I might have made an exception for you. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, as long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Understood, Captain. I will be deploying the Unreliable's lethal deterrence system. Please approach the airlock and enjoy the show. Now initiated. Warm welcome protocol.
Nice. Can she do that again?
Looks like our opponent knows how to play defense. All right, freebooters, fall back and regroup.
What the?
You know, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping you'd play by the rules. We could have had a good old-fashioned boarding. Now you're barging into my office, muddying tracks all over my floor. A little respect for the ship. Is that too much to ask? Yeah, but I had every intention of respecting the upholstery. I would have had you spaced or shot in the bathroom or something. You're the captain of the Unreliable. You dropped out of the sky in Emerald Vale, and whatever you've been doing on Gorgon, you've upset my employer. You and I are in a bit of a situation. I don't get paid unless you're dead, and a man's gotta make a living. You understand?
With us.
Sanitizing within the established radius.
Welcome back, Captain. I understand you have resolved your differences with our former boarding party. Are you ready to depart? Understood, Captain. Resuming our course.
What happened to these poor folks? It can't be the storm that did this. thing's orbit is stable, right? Ada checked before we docked? Captain?
Data.
What'd you find?
Tragedy, two teams is a blunder. Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Well, it wasn't me. I've been stuck in this place for ages. In any case, it's becoming obvious you're not listening to sensible warnings. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Not that it's any of your business, but I don't get to quit. My colleagues are dead, and yet I live. So I don't get to quit. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want.
Close, Captain.
Here we go!
facilities back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. If you'll excuse me, my experiments cry out for my attention. Even if I wanted to talk about Project Gorgon, I couldn't. All my memories of Gorgon are intact, but they're in disarray. Like a book with its pages shuffled. Making sense of those memories requires clarity of mind. Clarity that only Sky High gives me. To tell you everything I know, I'd have to be dangerously euphoric. All right, just one inhale. Easy does it, Jasper. Have you ever seen a lake as still and clear as a mirror? That's how my mind feels right now. The disaster at the chem lab was my fault. I tested adrenatime on primals. I decimated my own research team, and I was a coward. I locked myself up in isolation. I told myself that I needed silence and solitude to perfect my formula for Sky High. But the truth is that I was ashamed. Nothing? Everything? I told myself I needed a drug to help me focus, help me work. The weight of guilt crushed my capacity to work, but if I didn't work, then I was worthless. Adrenatime was like that. It was designed and marketed as a necessity, an elixir of productivity. It made you feel guilty for not using it, and then hurt you when you used it. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I suppose you're right. I do need to relax. Up you go, old friend. And just like that, the demons of my mind have all gone silent. I'm a scientist. My entire life is built on the foundation that science is a force for good in the world. I believed in Project Gorgon. Spacer's Choice didn't. The compound that we discovered on Gorgon had all the makings of an elixir. It could have been the greatest medical achievement since the discovery of antibiotics. I'm saying Spacer's Choice never saw anything in Gorgon beyond profit. Adrenatime would have taken years to develop responsibly. We needed time, resources, room to make mistakes. Project leadership panicked at the first sign of a mistake. They gave us no resources, slashed our time in half, and demanded we produce anything marketable. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. Surely you jest. Even were I inclined to teach you, which I am not, you wouldn't be able to replicate an alternative to Compound X. The compound is derived from the metabolic waste of xenocytes, a microbial life form growing beneath the surface of Gorgon. However, they're accursedly sensitive to their ecosystem. Exactly. When Project Gorgon was active, corporates' varied attempts to port xenocytes off-world killed them, every time. And even were one able to cultivate xenocytes in a petri dish, they'd need millions to refine even a dash of the compound. We mined immense amounts of Compound X directly from subterranean caverns in Gorgon. So you see, there is no Adrenatime without Project Gorgon.
me. Someone was doing research right near the dump? Ugh, smells something awful.
me about the production of adrenatime, Dr. Ambrose. I hear Compound X is a unique challenge to work with. It's temperamental. It must be refined under tightly controlled circumstances at tremendously low temperatures. Do you compound it with anything else? Tell me more about your refining process. Our audience is conversant in the sciences, very detail-oriented, so don't be afraid to get technical. Last time I met you, you spoke like a groundbreaker bilge sprat. Why the sudden airs and such specific questions? Does your minder know what you're up to? Does he suspect you're a spy? Pardon me.
This unit is a friend to all debtors.
In the old days, I felt like I was part of something important. Like my work made a difference.
Hey, there you are. Been wondering how you were doing. Did you manage to find those recordings? Well, I'll be damned. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But Spacer's Choice won't let me out of here until I deliver the whole set. Do you think you could get the rest? Sure, I'm an open book. Nice enough guy. Fashioned himself one of those professional gumshoes, like in the serials. They usually work for the board, rooting out dissidents and the like. Lucky though, he was freelance. Worked for anyone who paid, no matter their allegiance. You ask me, I think the guy just likes snooping around in folks' terminal messages. No, but I'd wager Lex does a lot of weird shit she doesn't tell anyone about. That's the sublight way. Gotta say though, mailing a stranger some dead guy's arm probably tops the list. At least I'd hope so. Frenetic, chaotic, vicious, take your pick. I wasn't here at the start, but going off what folks told me about the early days, Gorgon started out with promise. The board's best and brightest were excited to work here, said it was a good posting. The project director had a vision and big, bold ideas. Nothing good lasts long in Halcyon. Thing is, the schedules coming out of the corporate office were unrealistic from the get-go, and they were trying to do the project on a shoestring budget. Couple that with the obvious personnel problems and toxic junk in the product, it was only a matter of time before it all went to hell. Could have been, yeah. Marauders didn't just fall out of the sky one day. They were made here on Gorgon. How, though? That's the question. Sprat Shack legend has it they crawled out of the mines one day. Heard one fella suggest they might even be aliens. I think the drug they were developing here turned people into marauders. Not on purpose, mind, but over time. Marauderhood's not the flu. It ain't contagious and they don't reproduce. So how else would they get all over the colony?
Seems a little far-fetched, don't it? Spacer's Choice, just letting that happen to the folks they're meant to keep safe?
I don't have proof, mind. It's just a hunch. Shit, any number of things. Fire, primals, sabotage. It didn't happen all at once, but it happened fast enough folks couldn't respond in time. Now, if you're asking how it all kicked off, might have been spies that did it. Corporate espionage, you know, anti-Cleos. I never did figure it out. Not about to try now. Oh, I've tried, make no mistake. I've caught a couple of rides out with sublight folks, but the board's fixers always send me right back. And I'm not about to stand toe-to-toe with marauders just to fulfill a line item on a contract. Someone had been trying to steal them since the day my assistant and I started interviewing. Couldn't even keep them in my safe. They always found a way in. So I took to hiding them all over the fucking asteroid. Thought I was so clever. What a fool I was. Adrenatime, I'm sure you know it, was a drug, something to make folks work harder, work smarter. Had a lot of nasty side effects. Didn't seem so bad to me at the time, but then I hadn't met the test subjects yet. The whole thing was real hush-hush. A lot of worry about corporate spies, especially from anti-Cleos. I probably shouldn't even be mentioning it to you, to be honest. Spacer's Choice, they're really not fond of spies. Fair point, not even spies like spies. Not much, except that there was a whole gaggle of them, and so far as I could tell, they absolutely hated each other. Dr. Ambrose would hardly let me speak to any of them, but she complained about him all the time. Everything seemed like. Marion Blakesley, for example, lady who ran HIA, wouldn't return any of her messages. Not once, for years. Jasper Lowe, guy who headed up Chem, was high more than he was sober. He insisted on running special tests on primals, too. Law knows what for. Dr. Ambrose really had it out for this guy Lawrence Goodfellow. Ran OCI, would lose his shit if he saw red on a schedule. By the end, I heard folks were turning in completely bunk progress reports just to keep him out of their hair. Had this little minion, too, an actuary named Clarence Mosley, obsessed with quantifying every detail of his sad little life. Mosley was the guy who got me mixed up in all this. Asshole. I hope a primal ate him. Oh yeah, it wasn't just that Dr. Ambrose hated them. They seemed to hate each other, too. OCI pushed a ludicrous schedule. Chem made a bad product, and HIA returned garbage results. A regular merry-go-round of shit flying in every direction. It's no surprise it all fell apart.
Sounds like half the crews I run with. Not this one, of course.
Mister, I'm not about to tell you how to do your job, but I ain't think that metaphor's fit to print.
Editor always did say my prose was a bit purple, or brown in this case. Not a problem. Anything else? Well, I'll be damned. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But Spacer's Choice won't let me out of here until I deliver the whole set. Do you think you could get the rest? Well, I'll be damned. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But Spacer's Choice won't let me out of here until I deliver the whole set. Do you think you could get the rest? Well, I'll be damned. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But Spacer's Choice won't let me out of here until I deliver the whole set. Do you think you could get the rest? Well, I'll be damned. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But Spacer's Choice won't let me out of here until I deliver the whole set. Do you think you could get the rest? Of course, I won't be going anywhere, so, take your time.
Lucky's problem was that he was always overconfident in himself. But us? We got this, whatever it is.
You think this place we're headed will tell us more about Gorgon? I wonder what they got up to here.